Have you ever wondered how the global economy shifted from a system of fixed currency values to the dynamic, constantly changing rates we see today? It is a fascinating journey that fundamentally reshaped international finance, and it all traces back to a pivotal moment in economic history. The Bretton Woods system ultimately led to floating exchange rates because its rigid structure, designed for post-war stability, could not adapt to the evolving economic realities and policy objectives of its member nations, especially the United States. This rigidity created insurmountable pressures, making its eventual collapse and the transition to a more flexible system inevitable. The core mechanism behind this shift was the inherent conflict between fixed exchange rates, free capital movement, and independent monetary policy, often referred to as the impossible trinity. Bretton Woods pegged currencies to the United States dollar, which in turn was convertible to gold at a fixed price of $35 an ounce. As global trade and capital flows expanded significantly in the post-war era, maintaining these fixed rates became increasingly challenging. Nations faced a dilemma: either defend their fixed exchange rate by sacrificing domestic monetary control, or abandon the fixed rate to pursue independent economic policies, such as combating inflation or stimulating growth. The system relied on the United States maintaining a strong dollar and sound fiscal policy, but growing balance of payments deficits and inflation in the United States eroded confidence in the dollar's gold convertibility. To understand how this played out, imagine the scenario. The United States, facing domestic economic pressures and funding the Vietnam War, began printing more money, leading to inflation and a declining trade surplus. Other countries, particularly Germany and Japan, accumulated large amounts of United States dollars from their trade surpluses. These nations then started to doubt the United States' ability to redeem all these dollars for gold at the official rate, creating a rush to convert dollars into gold. President Richard Nixon's decision in 1971 to unilaterally suspend the dollar's convertibility to gold, known as the Nixon shock, effectively dismantled the linchpin of the Bretton Woods system. This move, intended as a temporary measure, severed the dollar's link to gold and initiated a period where major currencies began to float against each other, driven by market forces. This transition revealed the critical role of speculative capital flows, a concept often underappreciated before Bretton Woods' demise. When market participants lose confidence in a fixed exchange rate, they can rapidly move vast sums of money, making it nearly impossible for central banks to defend the peg without depleting their foreign reserves. This phenomenon, often called capital flight, can overwhelm even the strongest economies. The crisis also highlighted the importance of credible monetary policy and the need for international coordination that was flexible enough to accommodate divergent national interests. Ultimately, the breakdown of Bretton Woods illustrated that any fixed exchange rate system must either be extremely flexible or possess an unparalleled degree of international policy coordination to endure. The move to floating rates, while introducing volatility, offered nations greater autonomy to manage their domestic economies through monetary policy, shaping the global financial landscape into the one we recognize today, where market forces predominantly determine currency values.